Today, we are going to talk about thoughts. Remember last episode and the episode before I talked about the bots. Now, 2 episodes ago, if you need to go back and listen to it, feel free to do that. But 2 episodes ago, we talked about beliefs. And then last episode, we talked about opinions. This episode, we're going to talk about thoughts. So, what will happen is we will go through life, and then there are some of us that are very intentional in our life, and there's others of us that it's just kind of life is happening, right? We're completely out of control of our life, and it is happening, and we're going with the flow, or we're kind of reacting to life, or we're kind of letting just life happen, but we're not really living the life. Okay. So, what I want to do is really get in there and help you become more aware. And that is genuinely what I'm doing here. So, say some sort of a situation happens. Say it's morning, the alarm goes off, and you hear the alarm and you think, I don't want to get out of bed. So then you hit snooze and you go back to sleep. And then the alarm goes off and you think, I don't want to get out of bed. And you hit the snooze and go back to sleep. So this happens enough time that you do not get a shower. This is like the fourth day in a row that you didn't get a shower. But 4 days in a row, every time the alarm went off, you thought, I don't want to get out of bed. And keep going on with life. And the next thing you know, you're like, oh my gosh, what is going on? I legitimately smell. I need to shave. I look like a ragamuffin, right? So, another situation can be something along the lines of you're leaving for a meeting in the morning, you're ready, you've got your food, you've got your coffee, you're trying to get the kids in the car. You tell the kids to get their shoes on, your kid has a complete fit. You have no idea how it started, but your kid is not going to put their shoes on and they're having a fit. Full on, full fledged. Things are being thrown, crying is happening, yelling is happening. And you think to yourself, I do not have time for this. I have somewhere to be. I do not have time for this. And because you're thinking that thought, you get angry. And when you get angry, your voice starts to raise. And all of a sudden, there's yelling happening. And rather than getting their shoes on, your child is just digging their toes in, they're digging their feet in. Nothing is moving now. And now everything is taking longer than it was going to take. And that's not helping you get to your meeting. Okay. So let's take another situation. Let's say you are an entrepreneur and you genuinely need to hire some contract workers. So you set up this meeting with this contract worker and you have this conversation. And the whole time you're having this great conversation with this person named Abby. And you keep talking to Abby and Abby, okay. And so then you say, Abby, send a proposal. You get an email, and the proposal says, thank you so much for your time today. I enjoyed talking to you. By the way, my name is not Abby, it's Addy with a D. So then you think to yourself, oh my gosh, I feel so stupid. And then you potentially, because you feel so stupid, you feel insecure, and then you don't hire Addie, who could have been the exact person that you needed for the job to get done. Let's take it a step further. You are in the kitchen, your wife is making dinner, and your wife says, hey, can you mix the meatloaf for me? I'm going to set the table and make the salad. And you have sensory issues. And you're like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. So rather than mixing the meatloaf for your wife or talking to your wife, you just say, yeah, I'm not going to do that. And you leave, just cut out of the kitchen. But what ends up happening is some resentfulness and bitterness between both sides and miscommunication, maybe a harsh talk later on, right? So, this is a couple of different scenarios of how we can have our thoughts about something happening create our feelings. And then when we have a feeling about it, it really does drive our actions, or in the meatloaf case, inaction, right? Like, that's it. I'm out. I'm not doing that. Right. So the first step really is just becoming aware of our thoughts, right? When something comes up or a situation happens, what am I thinking right now? What am I feeling right now? And that can really help center you. I am not going to lie to you. A lot of my clients, when they first begin this type of work, they kind of get uncomfortable. They will get back to me and they'll say things like, "Hey, Teresa, so I'm becoming aware of my thoughts. I had no idea what I was thinking. And I don't like the thoughts that I'm becoming aware of." And that's okay because we cannot create change without the knowledge, right? So I challenge you that in this next coming week or weeks, just be aware of your thoughts. If a person cuts you off on the freeway, what is your first thought about it? If your kid has a fit and decides not to put their shoes on, what are you thinking about it? If you get in a situation or a situation happens, just be aware of what you're thinking about it. Okay. So I hope that this level of awareness starts to sprout and create little sprouts in your life. And as we go through this podcast, we will start to talk about, okay, now we're aware. What do we do with it? Right? How can we be more intentional? How can we create the things that we want to? Alrighty, friends. I love you. Take care. Have a good day.